Hi, welcome to my really short and quick tutorial on how to set up full body tracking using just a webcam and a cell phone. Let's get started. Oh, and by the way, the world that I'm using is Aquarius by VRChat, so you should check it out. Okay, so to get the best possible tracking results, here is what you're going to need. A PC with SlimeVR installed, a webcam, your cell phone, MediaPipe Pose, as well as both the OwOtrack PC and mobile apps. Technically, you can just use MediaPipe Pose and skip OwOtrack, however, I tend to find you get better results if you use them in combination. All the resources that I used during this tutorial are found in the description so you can follow along. And for reference, my setup uses a Quest 2 over link cable, a Pixel 3a for the phone, as well as a webcam that runs at 30 frames a second. So the first thing we're going to do is install MediaPipe Pose. If you go to the GitHub, you can find this right here, the latest version, and we're going to download the zip file. So now that our download is finished, I'm going to extract the zip file into my folder, and I'm going to run the driver. Okay, so here's our folder. We're going to open it, go into the driver files, and install the driver. And once this pops up and it says driver successfully installed, you can close the window. Alright, now we're going to install OwOtrack. Okay, so inside the OwOtrack Discord server, you will find a downloads channel where you should find everything you need to follow along. I'm not going to go through how to install the mobile app, but there are detailed instructions in the server, and also I'm putting a screenshot on the screen right now of what it's supposed to look like once you get it set up. As far as the PC installation is concerned, all you have to do is click on the Windows download link in the server, and it will take you to this page where you can download the application. So we're going to download that now. Alright, and now that we've downloaded the zip file, we're going to extract it just like we did before. You can choose to extract it to the same folder, but you don't have to. Inside of the OwOtrack release folder, we're going to launch the overlay where it will prompt us to install the driver. Please note that when you launch the OwOtrack overlay, it will also automatically launch SlimeVR as well as the Oculus client if you have that installed. So we're going to click on the install button, and then it's going to prompt us to restart SlimeVR. After we restart SlimeVR, we have to relaunch the OwOtrack overlay as well. Now that we have OwOtrack mostly set up, let's move back over to MediaPipe Pose. Inside the folder, there's a batch file which we need to run in order to start the application. So here is what MediaPipe Pose looks like. Let's run through the settings one by one. So first up, we have the camera IP or ID. If you're using a wireless webcam or have multiple webcams connected to your computer, you may need to change this number to get the one you want. Next, we have the maximum image size, which limits how big the camera feed can be. If you're having trouble or your computer's running too slowly, you might want to try turning this down. This next setting basically just tells the algorithm how to work when you're wearing a headset. The next two settings are the ones most closely related with tracking quality. For me personally, I keep my camera latency around 0.1 and my smoothing around 0.3. If your camera is not appearing in the right orientation in the preview, then you can rotate the camera using these checkboxes. There is also an experimental foot rotation setting, but I found that it causes my performance to drop pretty drastically. Unless you're encountering problems, keep the automatic calibration checked because it saves you from having to calibrate manually every time. And finally, since we're using OwOtrack to replace this program's hip tracker, we can check the Don't Use Hip Tracker button. Now we need to start up SlimeVR, otherwise we're going to get an error when we try to move further. Once everything is to your liking, hit Save and Continue. Please note if you don't have SlimeVR launched at this time, you'll encounter an error and will need to launch it. Once you click on Save and Continue, this preview window will appear. Additionally, two trackers will be spawned inside SlimeVR. Inside of SlimeVR, you should see a tracker for each of your legs. Now we're going to set up the hip tracker using OwOtrack. Inside of the overlay, don't change the port and hit spawn. After you hit spawn, you'll get an error that says your phone isn't connected. Take out your phone and open the OwOtrack app. Go to the Connect tab at the bottom of the screen and enter the IP address and port that you see in the overlay. Then click on Connect. Next, we need to calibrate the tracker by following the prompts in the overlay. The tracker's position depends on the phone's rotation. At this step, attach the phone to your body. It's better to be too high up than too low down. Looking down, you should see your waist tracker in addition to your 2 feet trackers. Now you're all set up and ready to go.